Hi, this is Isabel Litzler. So today is about recruitment firms, and I do share a listing under my videos that you can download, but I received some feedback that people are not getting replies, and I think the idea is really to explain maybe a little bit more how to use listings, well, how to find also more recruitment firms and how to use this list so that it works for you. So what I wanted to share is that basically a listing of firms that you're going to send a resume to is not going to be very efficient because those firms get a lot of resumes every day from all over the world. And if there's no real need for your application at this stage, they're not going to do much with it. So it's going to be a little bit of a waste of time. So you want to use recruitment firms very wisely. You want to make sure that you understand their business and why they would need you. So it's all about taking really a customer focused type of approach rather than trying to just send applications for the sake of it, and understanding where they're coming from. So what I'm going to do in this video is also share below more recruitment firms that I found so that you can go on the links and check the website. But again, what I really recommend is don't go and send resumes like a push type of applications, because those approaches tend to not give a lot of results. However, if you're taking the time again to say, okay, let's take the first one, ADECCO. What is ADECCO doing? You know, what type of profiles are they recruiting now on their lists? So you look at their openings that they have and you see if that's the type of work that's applicable to you. If it's not the case, then it's not worth sending an application because they're not going to have use for your profile because they don't have requests. So typically agencies like ADECCO, like MANPOWER and all those, they tend to recruit a lot of admins. Sometimes they are specialized. So if they're specialized in IT, they would recruit IT profile or supply chain or marketing. But just be aware that not all firms are going to recruit all profiles. Usually they're very specialized in Switzerland. So before you go and send an application, make sure that they specialize in your type of profile and that they're interested. So that's number one, is really when you look at the type of recruitment firms, make sure it fits you, make sure it's your type of work. The number two is the language part. So a lot of firms are only recruiting German speakers or French speakers. So if you're not speaking any of those languages, it's not worth sending an application. Same thing, they're not going to use, especially if they're very localized. Some firms are only working with the local companies. It's a very small business type of world. And they want the locals. They want people who speak the language. So if you're an English speaker, you're already not going to be of use for them. So it's not worth, just because you have their name, it's not worth sending an application. So again, very local, local language type of place, unless you speak it, unless you get to a point where you're full German speaker, full French speaker, then you can apply for this market. But if you're not, it's a waste of time. So just be aware of the local agencies and whether you fit their terms. So that's number two. And number three is make a list. Make a list of all the agencies after you've done your research and you've checked their websites, you see what type of profile they need. You should come up with a list of no more, I tell people, 2 or 3 agencies. So you go from a listing that you can find on my YouTube channel of maybe, if you regroup all the videos I've made sharing listing of recruitment firms, maybe you come up with 50 different names. But after you check if they hire English speakers, if they have a need for your type of work, where they're based, is that suited also with what you're looking for? Once you've done all this research, you should come up with 2 or 3 names, no more. So it's really a narrowing down step by step of firms. You don't want to spread yourself large. You want to go focused. So what are the 2 or 3 top firms that would need your profile, that would be interested in you, in working with you? And then you only work on 2 or 3 very good applications for these firms, rather than to send it to 50 where it's just a quick send, click and send type of thing. So that's how we do it. That's how you do it when you are an applicant. You really screen and go narrow rather than spread yourself large. So you have 2 or 3 top firms maybe you focus on, and you're going to follow up with them. You're going to nurture a relationship with them until potentially they have a job that could suit you. So that's how you do it, and that's the links that I will share below, so you can do your research and go through this step by step of narrowing down to 2 or 3 recruitment firms that you will send your resume to. Now, the third thing I wanted to mention here is if you're not finding any kind of exact suited firm for you, maybe you're doing something that's not very applicable to recruitment firms, then don't send your application. They're not going to do anything with it. Rather, try to use different ways. And recruitment firms are just one potential way, but you can do spontaneous applications, and I will share also listings of Swiss firms in a different video because that's a different topic. But you can do abroad. You can search, for companies directly without recruitment firms, especially in the niche markets. So again, recruitment firms for me are good for the mainstream type of jobs. You're not going to find necessarily a recruitment firm if you're a highly technical profile in one specific thing that maybe they don't cover for whatever reason. You have to see if you find your type of roles there. And again, they tend to be very general, the marketers and the accountants and all that. But if you're very especially with those new type of jobs, there's a lot of new jobs, especially in digital, where a lot of firms are not specialized in them yet. So you may not find a firm that can place you there. So just be aware of that. So I will leave the video with this thought, focus, do your search, and make sure that you apply with the right type of organizations. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. Thanks. Bye-bye.